What's up, guys? Brennan Hancock here with another episode of Groove Subaru today, and behind me I've got the new 2018 Subaru Impreza. Now the Subaru Impreza comes in both a 4 and a 5-door option, and I've brought along the 5-door 2.0i limited trim level with option package 35 because the 5-door is my personal favorite. So the 2017 Subaru Impreza, which was last year's model, was the all-new redesign. And for 2018, there's not a lot that's changed because the Impreza's been doing so well over the last 2 years since we came out with this new redesign. There was no real need to change a lot. They pretty much did it right the first time. So a couple things that have changed. Really what we're looking at here is the tires. So we're still going to see the Firestone FT140s on both the 17 and 18 Impreza, but this time we've increased the load capacity a little bit. And also the premium, sport, and limited trim levels are now going to come standard with automatic headlights, which will link to the wipers. So when you turn the wipers on come the headlights if you have them in the on position. But really between 2017 and 18, that's all the differences that we're seeing. Now, this car right behind me is, as I mentioned, the all-new global platform. And right now, the Impreza and the Crosstrek are the only cars that are on it, but this is the future of Subaru right here. So previously, the Impreza from 14 to 15, 16, those years there, the last body style, I would have described that Impreza as a great vehicle, but in terms of road harshness, wind noise, engine noise, things like that, it was a pretty loud car. And on the inside, it kind of felt a little bit cheap. This is a complete 180. The global platform, which is the future of Subaru, is the quietest and the softest car that we have now, which is an incredible thing to be saying about an Impreza, which is our compact sedan and hatchback vehicle. So a couple of the numbers that are going to support that, we are seeing an increase of 70% in body rigidity. So it's a much stiffer car, but it's actually softer and stuff over the bumps because we're seeing a 40% increase in energy absorption. We're also going to see a 50% decrease in body roll around the corner, so it's a little bit more of a sporty ride, which is actually fun as well. So as I mentioned this, with a new noise insulating windshield and the addition of some extra insulation underneath the car as well, much quieter, much softer ride, and it's going to feel 100 times better over the bumps than a 2016, for example. Now, if we're looking at the appearance here, a couple things. This is the limited trim level, and this does come with the EyeSight option package, so we are going to see the nice LED steering responsive headlights and the steering responsive fog lights here as well. And this nice Hawkeye design with the daytime running lights up here that we're going to see as well kind of look a lot like the XT Touring's headlights that we've seen previously. Now, overall, for the kind of elegance and the lines of the outside of the car, they're definitely much more pronounced, the lines are. So we can see here quite a bit, and then also along the side, it's got a nice sort of flow to it, and then the lines are much more pronounced than they used to be, kind of giving it a little bit more of a sporty, sort of elegant look to it, which I really like. Now, they have also redesigned the wheels here. These are the 17-inch ones we're going to see on the limited trim level specifically. And then as for the side mirrors here, a little bit of a modification. The turn signal here on the outside, which is going to come on the limited trim levels, is going to be a little bit thinner, and they've also moved the blind spot detection to the inside of the actual unit here, so it's not on the mirror itself like it used to be. In terms of other things, we are still going to see the rails up top here, which is great to carry over. And then on the back, not a lot's changed, although I do think that the taillights now are resembling a little bit more of the legacy kind of Outback look. But that's sort of all coming together now as the cars are beginning to be built on the global platforms. They're all kind of carrying over that similar look to them. And we are going to see the reverse automatic braking on the back on this trim level option package as well, like we've seen on the Forester previously. Now let's go take a look at the inside of the Impreza, because the outside is only half the beauty of this car for 2018. Really, this new global platform and this new body style of the Impreza, which a lot of this is carrying over to the Crosstrek as well, is absolutely beautiful. So they've done so much with the interior. Everything is new. These new seats, I absolutely love the stitching pattern on here. It makes it look a lot more elegant than it used to be. Previously, the interior on the Impreza seemed kind of cheap overall, and they've definitely done a lot to increase the soft touch surfaces that you have here. Still, not real leather or anything like that, but definitely not hard plastic. And this nice stitching that they have throughout definitely kind of ties things together. One of my favorite things is actually how on the doors, when you open them, you can kind of see it probably better over here, but how this kind of goes together here with the actual door and kind of blends it together really nicely. I absolutely love that. So now in terms of the overall positioning of it, I don't feel it's drastically different. There is more leg room in the back, but I don't feel like the seats are, a lot more bolstered than they used to be previously or anything like that. Maybe a smidge more comfortable. You do, however, have a power electric seat in the limited trim level. So that's a nice thing. We've never seen that in the Impreza before 2017. So that's good to see carrying over. And this is going to be the 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system. So the Impreza was the first one to bring this out. Now the 18 still has it. The Crosstrek's going to have it now. And also we're seeing this in the 2018 Outback as well. So this is the new Starlink touchscreen infotainment system. It's a little bit more kind of like smartphone integration here. We have Apple CarPlay as well as Android Auto. So you're able to actually basically take your phone and have it pop up here. It's much easier to send text messages and stuff like that. And if you have a more basic model with the 6.5-inch screen, you actually have the ability to bring up, either Google Maps or Apple Maps or Waze up on the screen. So even if you don't have the navigation like you do in this fully loaded Limited, you're still going to be able to use navigation in some sense through your actual cell phone. So that's a great thing to see. Now, overall, this is the new sort of navigation. It's actually brought by TomTom now, so it's not from the same company we were using previously. But overall, I think it's pretty nice. It is still a touchscreen system where you can zoom in and out and kind of change your view around and stuff like that. You can also change the view that you have up here with the compass, and you're still going to be getting traffic and everything brought to you by SiriusXM Traffic. So you are getting all of the live traffic updates and things like that. So it is going to be equally as efficient as if you were using Google Maps or something like that. You also are able to, if you find a cool lookout or campsite, something like that, you can always save that location and save it to your favorites, and then you can simply rename that whatever you like, because here in Colorado especially, we have a lot of places where there isn't exactly an address up in a lot of places in the mountains, but you might want to go to a cool spot you find. So this makes it super, super easy, and it's easy to save things to your favorites as well. We will do a video on how to work this navigation system a little bit better, but it is really nice and actually works really well when you are paired with Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, where you can use the voice activation controls over here to very easily navigate to any type of address you'd want. You can even do that when you're not tethered with those devices as well. So in terms of the radio, we do still have your AM, FM, and Sirius XM here as well. All of our presets, just like previously, were on the bottom here. We don't have 36 anymore, but I don't think when we did, anybody was using 36 presets anyways. We do have HD radio as well, and you will get a Sirius XM subscription for 4 months with your purchase here on the 18 Impreza. Now, if we go to the actual apps here, you can see we still have the same apps we had previously. So Subaru Starlink is actually different than the Starlink safety and security system you see up here. The Starlink app is actually going to have a couple of different apps within it. So it's going to have like an iHeartRadio app, a Stitcher radio app. It has a Magellan navigation app you can purchase through a subscription, and a weather app, a whole bunch of other stuff in there if you have the app on your phone. If you have an iPhone, you would need to tether it to your USB. If you have an Android device, you don't need to. Pandora and AHA are both internet radios, so you just likewise need to have the app on your phone and be connected that way. And the SiriusXM Travel Link, this is actually going to be through your SiriusXM subscription, so you will get that for the 4 months unless you decide to extend that as well. And then also over here, as I mentioned, the Android Auto and Apple CarPlay both work very, very well, easy to use, and just make the overall connection with the car and your phone a little bit more smooth. The other things we have, obviously, this one still does have the CD player. Some of the base models do not actually have it. We also have a USB and Bluetooth audio, and also your aux cable as well. In case you have an old MP3 player that you want to use, you can still do that. So I get a lot of people that are asking about, what the shortcut button is. And what a shortcut is these are all shortcuts here. This is a shortcut to the radio, shortcut to apps, shortcut to settings, but you can also add a couple of ones if you'd like to also. Like I can make a shortcut to specifically Pandora, and then that can show up on my main screen here, and I can simply choose to go to it that way. Overall, I like the updates they've done. It seems a little bit more like one big unit. Not at all remotely close to the size, of a Tesla, but it just seems like it's a much more prominent screen here than you had previously. So I think they're definitely heading in the right direction. In terms of the center here, not too much is changing. We do have the heated seats here in a different location than they were in 2016. And there's also this nice cutout here for that second cup holder. And as for the steering wheel, overall, it seems like it might be a little bit smaller. We do have a little bit more prominent 10 and 2 grips here. Paddle shifters, just like we've had previously in the 5-doors Impreza. And they've changed a little bit of kind of how the buttons are laid out here. We have all of our eyesight and cruise control over here. We do have the lane keep assist as well on the right side. And then all of our controls to, navigate through our presets are going to be over here on the left side, as well as volume controls and the ability to change the top screen up here. This is a new 3.5-inch screen up top, much larger than it used to be previously, so it gives us a much better graphics up there and a couple of other interesting things as well. We're going to use the info button to be changing the screen up here, but we can see all the features of eyesight up here. We've got a tiltometer and traction monitor as well. Overall, it's giving us a lot of the similar information that we were getting previously, but in a much better layout. It's also just a lot cleaner looking, and the graphics are definitely much better as well. Other than that, everything else pretty much the same. All of our traction control and eyesight change buttons are going to be over here, giving us the ability to turn off a lot of those features. They're kind of hidden on this little panel over here on the left-hand side. And then we also have our lane departure warning and pre-collision braking. We can turn off manually if we do so choose to do that as well. Other than that, this car is absolutely amazing to drive. Do check out our test drive review of the 2017 Impreza also. We've done a couple of those. We'll probably take this out for a spin and do a video on the test drive as well. But this, I'm telling you, this new body style of Impreza compared to the previous is a night and day difference. The Impreza is now one of our quietest and softest cars, and I have so much hope and think that the future of Subaru on this new platform is going to be absolutely amazing. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to our channel. If you guys have any questions, just put them in the comments below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time on Groove Subaru Today.